everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Gabby and I love to talk all things personal finance and lifestyle and whatever I feel like, honestly. So welcome. I kind of set myself up for failure. So in my monthly reset for March, I said I was gonna do a money talk March video series where once a week I was gonna talk something to do with money. And I kind of set myself up for failure because I was leaving on vacation and I was gonna be away on vacation for a full week. And I also wanted to film like a vlog relating to my vacation and a pack with me for my vacation. So I don't really know why I thought I could get away with talking about money once a week when I fully knew I was not going to be able to do that. So that is my bad, but I am hoping to still commit to 4 videos, 1 for each week in March. So the next couple videos for the rest of March will be kind of focusing on money. But today I wanted to do kind of like a mid-month check-in, even though it is 22nd. But I think this will be good because I can kind of run through a little bit more detail of my finances. I kind of wanted to do a bit more of like a money diaries version of a mid-month check-in and just kind of talk about how I've been feeling about money because I've been reflecting a little bit more on my money in this month. So I think it'd be a good time to kind of check in on how I feel about money and how I want to go about money moving forward. It is also kind of the end of the first quarter. So I think this is a good time to be a little bit more reflective and think on how I've been dealing with money recently. So I think we should just dive in. I feel like I have quite a lot to touch base on. We also will cover the budget. I'll go through my expenses for the month, but I wanted to do a bit more of a discussion around money first and foremost. I created a new little Notion page for my mid-month check-ins and I just had a couple of prompts. This kind of comes from Smiley Citrus here on YouTube. I was watching her mid-month check-in and she also had a couple questions she was talking about at the beginning of best purchase, worst purchase. And I thought that was a smart idea because it's good to reflect on what did I spend money on that I'm happy about and then mad about, you know? So the best purchase of the month, and I actually didn't take the time to sit on these prompts, I don't have a written answer, so I might just need to consult my spreadsheet a little bit here. Let me have a look at what I bought this month. Okay, so some notable purchases for this month so far are I got Crest white strips for my teeth, I bought some flights for the summer, I got Botox, I got a massage, I paid for travel visas for us to enter Quintana Roo where Cancun is. I had a microneedling appointment, that's a big one. So I would say probably the best purchase of the month. I am preemptively saying this because I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't have full results yet, but I would say probably microneedling appointment. I was talking in my March budget reset about how I had this appointment for microneedling and I had no idea how much it was going to be. And I was getting a little nervous because some commenters were they're expensive. So I was oh shit, did I under budget for this? But luckily I called them and they were it's $300 for just the face. And I had already put down a $100 deposit in February. So I only owed $225 with tip and tax and everything like that. So that was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. So I think that would have to be my best purchase in the sense that I have good faith in what microneedling is gonna do for me. And it ended up being cheaper than I thought it was gonna be. And the girl was very knowledgeable. She did a really good job. I was very happy with the whole procedure and how it went. And I really think it's gonna help with a lot of the issues I have with my skin. I have a lot of texture from boxcar scars, scars that are deep, and there's just not much skincare that will fix that. So I'm really hopeful that microneedling will be that fix that I'm looking for. Let's move on to the worst purchase of the month. And this hands down has got to be the dinner we had last night. So me and my boyfriend went and got dinner and then we saw Dune Part 2, which by the way, I'm fully obsessed with. I cannot stop thinking about Dune Part 2. I have to go see it again. But anyway, we went for dinner beforehand and I'm not gonna name drop this restaurant because I don't want to shame them, but it's a classic Earl's type restaurant here in Vancouver and we just were so unhappy with it. It was happy hour, so we got a pizza and a poke bowl and I got tofu on the poke bowl instead of fish, and then we got a vegan version of one of their pizzas that was on the happy hour menu and it came to $78 for happy hour food. My boyfriend got a beer, I got a soda water, and it was $5 for my soda water. Our pizza was $22 even though it was on the happy hour menu, and my poke bowl was honestly trash. It was literally rice, edamame, pineapple, and tofu with soy sauce. There was no flavor, nothing. Yeah, it sucks when I don't eat out often because I'm like, oh, it's not worth it. And then I go and eat out. And then I'm like, this reinstated why I don't do that. I really just didn't enjoy myself at all. That was the worst purchase of the month. My boyfriend paid for it, but kind of split shit. So you won't see it on my budget, but like the worst money I spent by far. How are my monthly money goals going? So my monthly money goal for March was to spend no money on clothes. And I haven't done that. And I'm definitely not going to. So I'm 100% going to take this one off. I was considering going to the thrift store and like giving myself a little budget to like thrift some items, but I think I will do that in April. That will be like an April fun thing to do, is to try to find some deals on clothes. I was reviewing my annual goals and I said that I wanted to thrift or buy used 20% of my purchases for the month, like, or clothing, home, things like that. And I haven't even been to a thrift store this year. So I think to kind of accomplish that goal, I will try to thrift more in April for things that I need before consulting online shopping. That is the money goal for March. I also wanted to stick to my budget, and you'll see I didn't, but it doesn't feel like I messed up and bought stupid shit. I feel like I was in control of my money. There were just things that came up that I'm like, I have to buy it, you know? We'll touch base on the budget in a bit, but yeah, I feel like my money goals are going well. And what are some money habits that I am building, that I can see building, or money habits that I want to change, or just, you know, habits that are forming or are already developed that I want to like reflect on. So I have noticed that even though I have taken out a lot of my spending that I do on like clothes, beauty, things like that, like obviously I still bought some beauty items, like the whole microneedling, Botox thing, of course. But I did remove a lot of the spending on clothes and like frivolous things. Like I've really been trying not to spend money on things that, you know, I don't need. And I'm still noticing a trend of like almost lifestyle inflation where I can't seem to keep my budget low. Like I really can't. There's just like these little tiny things that just keep popping up that I just need to keep a better eye on. Like I was looking at my budget and I was like, I feel like I've been really good this month with my budget, and yet I'm like over $2,000 already. So yeah, we will kind of go through everything and I'll discuss more, but I just like want to keep an eye on just like the little purchases that add up over the month, you know? It's that every single day spending a little bit of money that is like starting to pile up for me. Okay. And my last question is, what is a money win that I had? So I was watching Andre Jix. He's a YouTuber. I was watching his recent video and he was talking about, I think it's his payday routine video, but he was talking about a guy that recommends people start with like 15% savings rate and then they turn it up 1% every single month until it starts to hurt. And I was like, that's a smart idea. Like, why don't I just turn up my saving and investing 1%? I doubt I'm gonna notice it. Like, it's not gonna be a huge difference. I think that will turn out to be like $20 or something. So I think that that is a fun idea that I'm going to try in the future. Like, I think a good money win that came out of this month was the reflection on, I think that because I have automatic savings and investments, I just kind of sink into those numbers that feel comfortable. But I'm like, okay, well, if I sink into those numbers feeling comfortable, why don't I just kind of ramp it up a little bit? Just, you know, test the dial a little bit, get a little uncomfy with the amount that I'm putting away. So that is a money win that I think I like came to a conclusion on in March. Okay, let me full screen this bitch. I find my budget spreadsheet on a little Mac, like one of these. I made my budget spreadsheet on like a giant desktop, so the sizing and the way that it looks is best on a big desktop screen, but whenever I use a tiny Mac, I just zoom out. I like go to 75% zoom and then it fills the screen a lot better. The font's a little bit small, but what can you do? You can't win everything. So all in all, right now in March, income is at $52.73 and I expected like $13,500, and that was because of my tax return. And I realized mid-month that one of my tax slips, like my T3, won't be ready until March 31st. So this whole tax return big dump into my investments that I was talking about in my last video. Also, I was really like thinking about how a lot of people who come across my videos probably just stumble on one video. They're probably not regular viewers. So I just like am always worried about repeating myself and boring people with repeating myself, but I never think that when other YouTubers repeat themselves. So I'm just gonna try to be a little bit more transparent through the whole thing so that people are a bit more aware of my situation. So maybe I should start with a little bit of a just an overview of me as a person. So I am a salaried employee. I am a mechanical engineer graduate from university. I'm not actually a PEng, but I graduated with an engineering degree, and I currently work in a construction industry field, and I have a 9 to 5. That is my primary job, and then I kind of do YouTube and some Etsy stuff on the side for fun because I enjoy it. So that is my situation. But yeah, my paychecks are very regular, very normal, very predictable. So budgeting the way that I do is pretty easy to do on a month-to-month basis because I know exactly how much money is coming in. And yeah, I live in a very expensive city. I live in Vancouver, Canada. It is extremely expensive. The cost of living is kind of insane. So my budgets are, I spend a lot of money. I'm aware of it. I watch other people's budgeting videos and I'm like, oh my God, they spent $1,100 for the whole month. I spent $2,400 and I budgeted for more. So I am by no means like a frugal low spender at all, but I am very diligent with my saving and investing. I save and invest at least 30% of what I make. And if I can, I will invest more. And my predominant goal is investing. Most of my money goes to investing, but I do have sinking funds that I contribute to as well. I also have a fully paid for emergency fund, basically like 12 months of expenses in an account. So I do not put any money into an emergency fund anymore, but I do have sinking funds for short-term things where that money needs to come out on a regular basis. Like for example, my Botox appointment, I get those every 3 months. So I'm continuously pulling from those accounts and I'm continuously putting money into them and replenishing those as I see fit. So that's kind of my situation. So yeah, let's dive back into this month's budget. And I don't remember what I was talking about beforehand. Oh yes, the whole tax thing. So my tax situation, I'm just gonna fully get rid of this right here just because it's gonna throw the whole budget off. So I'm getting no tax refund. I am not contributing extra to my Italy fund, and I'm also not investing extra into my retirement. So we'll put that back down to 1,000 for what it should be. Okay, so this is a more regular budget. So let's go back to the top. So my income is $52.73. So far, my expenses and bills total up to $27.55. My savings and investments, I've contributed 1,000, but today my automatic investments will go through, so that will be 2,000. And my credit cards, I have paid $31.58. So I had a pretty high spend month in February, and my credit cards were definitely a little spicy for me. Transferring over $2,400 to my Amex was pretty gross. I definitely want to try to spend a little bit less. I've been reflecting as well as these are the months where it's so much easier to spend less money because we're not doing as much. And then the summer months, it's really hard to keep my costs down. So I do want to take these months and take advantage of them. So that is something I want to talk about for April. I haven't paid my rent yet, so not many bills have been paid, just my mobile plan, which was way more expensive than I thought it was gonna be. It's been going up steadily every month and I don't know what it's about, so I'm gonna have to call them. And I fucking hate phone plans. I'm just so over the Canadian situation with phone providers. I accidentally signed a lease with my phone and now I can't get out of it. So as soon as November comes, Rogers, you're done. You're done. Savings investments are basically exactly where I predict them to be because they're automatic. So I'm a big believer in automatic savings, automatic investments. So these amounts get taken from my account every time I get paid, before I even really notice it. So when I look at my checking account, I feel a little bit poor, and that puts me into a scarcity mindset that I think people avoid. People are always talking about you need to have an abundance mindset when it comes to money, but I kind of feel like it's good to have a little bit of a scarcity mindset, to check into your checking account and to see $100. It puts you in a mood, You're not gonna be spending money on your credit card. So yeah, I definitely utilize a scarcity mindset to try to keep my costs down. It doesn't always work. But yeah. Okay, so let's dive a bit further into I always forget to do this. Let's look at the charts. So far, my savings, need, and want split, 50-30-20 split. So you want to be typically around 50% of your expenses be your fixed costs or your needs. 30% should come from your wants, and then 20% should technically be from your savings. That's just like a general rule, but a lot of people like to check in on their percentages. So I made that as a portion into this budget. Obviously my rent hasn't been paid, and that is a huge amount of my needs. So this is kind of gonna skew this, but yeah, needs is at 18 right now, wants is at 54, and savings is at 26. And also my other investments and savings are going to go through today, so that would also skew this. So this is kind of unnecessary to look at right now. But yeah, so predominant things I'm spending my money on in the expense split is travel is a huge one, and so is beauty, and that was expected with the whole microneedling, Botox, and then I also bought flights. Yeah, everything is kind of as expected there. Let's run through some expenses in my expense tracker. So I started the month off strong. So if you're new here, I go up until like the 26th or 27th of the previous month, and that way I can get my monthly reset videos up closer to the first of the month. So that's why you're seeing expenses from February in here, but this is like my March budget. So I started the month off with needing some oil for my car. That was $33. I then bought Crest white strips. Those were $67. I've been using them. Hopefully my teeth look whiter. I think that's something I didn't notice about myself until I was editing videos, I was like, oh, your teeth a little bit yellow, girl. You might need to whiten those. Next, I bought flights for Stampede. I am from Calgary, Canada, and there's a huge outdoor music festival / rodeo, I guess this is the only way to call it, and that happens every year, and we are going this year. So those flights were $777. Insane. I've never paid that much money to go home ever, and I really am upset about the price. But this is for 2 flights. Sorry, I didn't say that. Me and my boyfriend are going. I bought the flights. He will eventually send me the money for these. Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but he will eventually send it. So I am kind of shouldering that cost. And if you're new here, I usually I put anything that I pay for on my cards in my budget, because I want my credit amounts to be accurate at the top here. So you can see that I have my credit balances at the top, and I just like that because I can quickly check if like I have enough money in my checking to cover my credit cards. It's just like an easy, nice feature that I like to have. So I do not like split wise, like I don't ask my boyfriend like what we split that he paid for. I just put everything that I pay for on my own cards in this tracker. So that's why you're seeing 2 flights, even though I'm not paying for both. Okay, next we had coffee, sad face. Oh yeah, I think I was just sad because I was like trying not to spend money, but I was very tempted walking by a coffee shop. So coffee, sad face. Then I bought a 6-pack of remixes. They're like a vodka soda for $14. Then I got my Botox, and that was $336. So another sad face because it was more expensive than it usually is. But I have been noticing that the amount that I was getting beforehand just wasn't working anymore. I think your body actually adapts to Botox, so I'm slowly having to get more, which is kind of shitty. Body, why you do me like that? Okay, and then I got food for my cat, Orlando. He ran out, I had to get it. I don't know if I budgeted. I think I budgeted to buy it once, but you'll see I ended up buying his food twice, so I don't know why we're going through his food so fast. Then I bought groceries. I was having my friend and her boyfriend over for dinner, so I bought kind of like charcuterie board shit, and I could not believe how expensive that stuff is. This was just for like hosting charcuterie appies type stuff. It was $88. So expensive. Then my Ren subscription went through. This is just a subscription for offsetting some of my carbon. Then I paid for parking, and then I paid for edibles. Then I bought parking. I then went and got, I then paid my credit card off. So, there's a story here actually. This is my Neo MasterCard. So I was an idiot, and I really hope it doesn't affect my credit score, but I transferred, so what I do is I transfer money from my checking to my Neo savings account via e-transfer, so it's immediate, and then I pay my credit card off from that savings account, which is also immediate. So I don't have to do there's no lag in payment for that credit card, but I transferred the money over between my cash accounts and then forgot to pay the card until I got a notification that was like, your payment's overdue, and I was like, no. I've never missed a credit card payment ever, so wait for my credit to tank. I'm at like 840 credit score right now. It's probably gonna go down to 740, so don't forget to pay your credit card. Then I had my other credit card payment of $565 to my RBC, and then I got paid, and then my automatic savings and automatic investments all went through, and then I paid my Amex. And as I mentioned, my Amex was $2,400 from my February spending. And I have been like using my Amex everywhere that takes Amex because I am waiting for more points so that we can use those for our Euro trip. So I'm like predominantly using that card. So I think I usually split my cards up almost equally so it doesn't feel as bad and I don't really see a total amount that's that disgusting. But when I switch to one card, I'm like, oh my God, really? I'm spending $2,400 on a credit card? Like my rent's not on my credit card. Lots of stuff isn't on my credit card. So that is just like really concerning. So yeah, a thought. And then I got a pedicure. So this was something I talked about in my March reset. I was using a discretionary fund or like a discretionary category to budget for things that make my life easier. My therapist recommended this and I got a pedicure because I just told her that I could not bring myself to give myself a pedicure. It ended up being cheaper than I thought. It was only $60 with tip instead of $75. I then bought some sunscreen and some mascaras, and then also a diaper rash cream from Shoppers. I've been seeing lots of people talking about basting your face with a zinc-based lotion, which is basically diaper rash cream. So I bought that at Shoppers. That came to $57. And then I also bought a lash serum off of Amazon because all my lashes fell out. I reloaded my Starbucks card for $10. I paid for my portion of the massage I got. My benefits cover most of it, but I paid like $25. I then paid for me and my boyfriend's visas to enter Quintana Roo in Mexico. I then got my mom a birthday gift. I think I only budgeted $85, which was stupid. Like what gift can I possibly get for $85 anymore? But her gift came to $110. I then got some groceries from Fresh Preps. This is our meal delivery service we use. So that was $57. I didn't even expect to buy those. It was like, it went through on my vacation. I just forgot to skip it. So we love that meal delivery service. It's just kind of a little bit expensive, but whenever we have it, I'm really grateful we do. So not mad about that. This one I'm actually mad about. Oh, this actually would have been a great one for the worst purchase for the month. I actually think I'll switch this because I actually did end up paying for this. But we got 2 burritos, veggie burritos. And the veggie burritos, there was no tofu, there was no protein. It was literally just no meat. Just the burrito got no meat on it. You just left it out. Like everyone's burrito gets rice and beans. They just didn't put meat on ours. And we got some chips and guac with it. And it came to $58 in Mexico in the airport. $58. That is $26. No, that's $29? Yeah. Little known fact about me. I have the worst mental math in the world, so I'm not, just ignore that. Anyway, $58 for 2 burritos. Insane. I've never spent that much money on shitty to-go food in my life. Like, what is going on in Mexico? What in the hell was that? My God, so upsetting. I could not believe it when I saw it on my credit card. Like, it was like 650 pesos, and I was like looking at that. I was like, that can't be right. I was like, maybe I'm doing the conversion wrong in my head of how much that is. No, it fully was $58. I then went and bought 2 poppies for $7.57. I ran out of my makeup melting balm from e.l.f., so I got that. That was $15.68. I got more food for my cat. He ran out again. I think he got overfed at Grandma and Grandpa's because he ran out of food really fast. I think they'd be giving him extra food. I got charged for Patreon again. I keep thinking I should like stop paying for this because I haven't been listening to the audiobooks. I pay for J. Scott Reads' Patreon. He reads Harry Potter novels in audiobooks and he does really good impersonations of all their voices. Absolutely love it, but I just haven't been listening, so I know that I should probably stop paying for this, but I don't know. I feel like I'm supporting a creator, so whatever. Then I went and got my micro needling. That was $225 after the $100 prepayment, so very happy that that was as cheap. Technically, my micro needling was cheaper than my Botox. And I did not think that that was gonna be the case. Kind of crazy when you think about it. Then I got paid from Etsy. So I got paid $105 while I was in Mexico. And then I got another $28 the week after. And then I got 2 donuts for me and my boyfriend to celebrate our anniversary. It was our 6-year anniversary. We didn't do gifts because we are saving up for a big trip. So we just said no gifts and just like little tiny things. So I got him a very nice donut. I then paid for our train to the airport. That was $3. I paid for parking somewhere. I don't know where. I then bought us Nespresso pods. So this is something else I've noticed, that we are going through Nespresso pods at an alarming rate. And it's probably me. I think I have 2 or 3 pods every single day. So this is my bad. But yeah, I paid for our Nespresso last month. It was also $100. And I bought more pods a month later. So we're going through them extremely fast, but it's kind of like my vice in life. I do love coffee. I've been drinking a decaf one every day. And there's no guilt with having decaf, so I just have more pods. I then reloaded my Starbucks card. It was the buy one, get one free on Thursday from Starbucks, so I wasn't expecting to pay for more Starbucks, but me and my coworker went on a little coffee walk, so I ended up paying for that. And then I got another Fresh Prep by accident. I forgot to skip again, so that just went through on Thursday, 57. I bought a coffee creamer, the Silk Caramel. You know, you know, it's so good. From Save On, I bought that $369. Then I got charged for my mobile plan, $368 or $363. I put a note here, why is this higher? Because that's a great question, why is it higher? And then I bought gas for $120. I didn't fill up because gas randomly is like 20 cents more expensive than it was when I left for Mexico. So I was just kind of hopeful that it would go back down again. So I didn't fully gas up. I think it was like a 3/4 tank. And yeah, I just got paid today, so that's another $25.69, and that is where we're at. I could put through my savings and investments, but whatever. We'll go through that at the full end of the month budget recap, since that is in 7 days. Okay, so that is the budget and everything I wanted to cover in the mid-month check-in money-wise. That is the mid-month check-in. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will be back with another money-related video, so if you like people talking finances, then subscribe and join me if you aren't already a subscriber. And thank you guys so much for 700 subscribers. That happened when I was in Mexico, and I am so grateful. I feel like there are a lot of new people and new faces here, so introduce yourself if you are new. I would love to hear from you, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!